1075 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
You know, I always love the either-or in life. Sometimes you can be both things. You can be like, hey, beat Clemson at the end of the year, 1-2 straight to finish the season. It makes me feel good, but this entire season felt like I was eating sauerkraut at Thanksgiving, right? I mean, you can feel both, and I think that's kind of like, you know, for me, I'd be like, look, you know, end of the season with 2 W's, but I'm still not happy with what happened for 12 games, but I feel good at the very end. At least I got a decent taste to go into the offseason with 2 straight wins and 1 over my rival. This is a football game. Obviously, 2 teams that have had disappointing seasons. I mean, South Carolina's run off an offensive coordinator and an offensive line coach. There is speculation in the upstate that Garrett Riley will no longer be the offensive coordinator at Clemson at the end of the year. Things just haven't worked for either program the way they were hoping. And with Clemson, the things you're looking for to try to figure out, okay, to pull yourself a W here at home and make it 3 out of the last 4, a few things to throw at you, and we've kind of gone in and out on these things all week. First of all, defensively, Clemson blitzes and blitzes and blitzes. I looked this up earlier today. In every game, Clemson blitzed at least 30% of the time. They're coming after you. They got talented dudes up front, but they also blitz. And you know, if your offensive line can't hold up, you're going to have a long, painful day. That's number one. Number 2, the Clemson secondary is scuffled this year, giving up big plays, tackling. So, you know, to me, and again, Mike Furry didn't call me to ask me, but, you know, since I'm filling air till 6, I'm getting the ball in Norris's hands quick, like especially early. Like you saw, you know, Jaden Sellers' little bubble hitch from last Saturday that went 75 yards for a touchdown against Coastal. Get the ball out of Norris's hands quick. Put the ball in the hands of the receivers, and hopefully you can make Clemson miss some tackles.
As of right now, everybody's good to go. Dylan practiced today. Nick practiced today. Cisse practiced today. Jalewis was limited. He's probably doubtful still for Saturday. But those other guys, as we sit here on Tuesday night, we fully expect to be available on Saturday.
And obviously that's fantastic to get Dylan Stewart back coming off the edge with anger. Nick Harbor at wide receiver. Again, with Clemson's issues they've had in the secondary this year, maybe, you know, you can get Harbor on a one-on-one with a corner with no safety help, and Nick might be able to smoke him, and you can get an easy 6. Maybe. We'll see. But it'd be good to see Harbor back healthy. And South Carolina pretty healthy overall going into the final game of the season against Clemson. Something to keep an eye on is how many times does Clemson, you know, rush an extra man. And really, I mean, look, that's Tom Allen's calling card, and I get it. But if your 4 can get home, you don't really need to blitz a whole lot. That's going to be a big thing. Again, we circle back to the issue we've been seeing here for 4 years, or my 4 years here, and 5 years overall is the offensive line. So what can the offensive line do on Saturday against a very talented defensive front? Guys like Woods and Parker, they'll be in the NFL. So what can you do as an offensive line to hold those guys off? Because if Clemson can get home with 4, they don't need to blitz a whole lot. But would Allen, if he would get home with 4 early, would he dial back his blitzes? Because, you know, that is who he is. But sometimes, I mean, I just think the best coordinators, once a game starts, you adjust by feel and game flow and stuff like that. But we'll see.